Our next guest represents California's 9th Congressional District. Please join me in welcoming Congresswoman Barbara Lee. Good to have you.
Glad to be with you.
Thanks for dropping by. Well, to start with, you just told me it's your mother's birthday. We have to give her a shout out.
Today is my mother's 87th birthday, Mildred Massey. So this is a national holiday. Happy birthday, Mother.
Happy birthday, Mildred.
And she let me come over just for this interview, Brian. I want you to know.
I'm going to thank you for the present.
We don't work.
All right, now this is I was joking with you out there. This is it's an eventful day, so let's get your take on Anthony Weiner. Do you think he should resign? Can he still be effective in his job in Congress?
Well, let me say first, I feel very sad for Anthony and his family and his friends. I believe that Leader Pelosi has asked for an appropriate investigation, and I think that investigation will make terminations. But quite frankly, I've been concentrating more on how to create jobs in my district and for the entire country. We have an unemployment rate now that's off the scale. It's increasing in the country, and as you know, in the African American community, it's gone up to 11.2%.
Well,
and
bad
the Latino community's going up.
Yeah.
Terrible economic numbers, and so that's got to be the focus of those of us who are elected to represent the least of these people who really need government
and
who need a voice.
This is the thing that he said, he was saying all last week, of course, why are we focusing on this when we have these other problems? But however, can you, when there's scandal around you, can you be effective in terms of dealing with the problems you're talking about, such as unemployment, such as the housing market being in the tank?
Once again, he's one member of Congress, and he and his constituents and his family are going to have to deal with all of those issues. For me, as a member of Congress, I represent one of the most enlightened, progressive, diverse districts in the country. And my district is suffering, and I've got to focus on creating jobs and also focus on how we can get this administration to begin to end the longest war in American history, the war in Iraq. This is a 10-year war now.
All right, let's talk about this for just a minute. Today there were 5 soldiers killed in Iraq. They're calling it the deadliest day for American troops in Iraq in 2 years. And it's the militants who are trying to send a message to America not to extend the December 31st deadline. Do you think that there is a legitimate argument for extending that deadline to help the Iraqis control their airspace as well as to train the Iraqi forces to be able to defend themselves?
Let me say this. First of all, let me go to Afghanistan.
Okay.
That's the longest war in American history. We want the president to begin to end this war in July by authorizing and calling for a significant and sizable reduction.
Okay, now what would you consider
Iraq, but let me just say Iraq. The more, and this relates to Afghanistan, worse it gets, the more money and the more troops are going to be asked for. If it goes well, if the Pentagon thinks it's going good, the more troops they're going to ask for, and they're going to ask for more money. There's no military solution, and so we have to figure out how to begin to end this war in Afghanistan. And I'd say significant out of Afghanistan would be 50, 75,000 troops, not 5,000, which I've heard that rumor. And so I'm talking about, in the DNC passed my resolution, the Democratic National Committee, unanimous, working with the White House, calling for a significant and sizable reduction in July. We see what's happening now with the tragedy in Iraq. Our young men and women are in harm's way. My thoughts and prayers go out to the families of these young men. Our troops have performed in a way that we have asked them. They've performed valiantly. It's time to bring them home and provide for their economic security here.
All right, now if we look at Afghanistan, outgoing Defense Secretary Robert Gates has said that he has concerns about a significant withdrawal right now because we have the Taliban on the run. However, it will give them a chance to regain momentum if we do have a sizable withdrawal in July. Your response?
My response is what I said earlier. If it's going well, they're going to ask for more money, more troops. They do not want to get out. If it's going poorly, they're going to ask for the same thing. What we have to do is take this moment now and engage in a more robust diplomatic initiative in encouraging, and I think the president and the administration is doing this, a political settlement. The Taliban, they're going to be in Afghanistan. And so we definitely have to make sure that our national security interests are paramount and first priority. But when you look at why we went into Afghanistan, that reason is not there. There are very few members of Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan.
We killed Osama bin Laden.
Osama bin Laden is dead. Med, you have Yemen, you have Somalia, you have other parts of the world where Al-Qaeda is more active. And so I believe to continue with $100 billion and more a year in Afghanistan to keep our young men and women in harm's way, and to continue to see our economy too, and to continue to see so many people unemployed.
I think that's misplaced priorities.
Misplaced priorities.
With that,
we need to go back to the drawing board.
With that, I've got to stop because we are out of time. I appreciate you being with us, and I appreciate your mother Mildred for allowing you to come out on her birthday.
Thank you very much. Happy birthday again, Mother.
Representative Barbara Lee, thank you.
Thank you.